Dear friends of Love for Volleyball, Amor por el Voleibol, I have the pleasure and the honor to speak today with a former volleyball player from Bulgaria, one of the greatest volleyball players from Bulgaria. He was silver medal in Moscow in 1980, bronze in 1986 in France, and many other important achievements around the world and his history. I mean Petko Petkov, who will talk with me today about his volleyball life. And I must thank Ivan Milanov, who kindly will help us today to translate the interview. Hello, Petko, how are you?
Great, Petko, как си?
Много добре, благодаря.
He's great, thank you.
Fantastic. And I want to ask you, Petko, please, first of all, tell me, when did you start playing volleyball and why did you choose volleyball as your sport?
Аз започнах да играеш волейбол и защо избра волейбол като спорт?
Започнах да играя от
I started playing
10 годишна възраст
from age of 10
и исках да се занимавам с волейбол,
and I wanted to play volleyball
защото
because
баща ми е бивш волейболист.
my father is a former volleyball player as well.
Fantastic.
Още нещо ли? Което привлече във волейбол?
Дойде треньорка в училище.
A volleyball
и
trainer
така се
came to
записах.
school and that's how he started playing. Видяха ли си висок?
Видяхме, че съм висок.
They saw, the trainer saw that he has the height advantage.
После разбраха, че съм син на баща си, който беше известен тогава в
Then
града.
they understood the name of his father, who was famous in the town at the time.
И така пошла за волейбол.
And that's how they attracted him to start playing volleyball.
Okay, and please ask him, when he started playing volleyball, was volleyball a popular sport in Bulgaria or not? Because I know that today there are many players, they have many generations of great players, but when he started to play volleyball, did he know somebody beside his father that was famous around volleyball or maybe not?
Когато започва играеш волейбол, беше ли популярен волейбол в България и покрай баща ти, освен него, някой друг има ли си като вдъхновение?
Волейбола винаги е бил най-популярният колективен спорт у нас и още от едно време.
He says that volleyball has always been a very popular collective sport in Bulgaria, ever since his time.
Okay.
Някой друг баща ти?
Тогава преди години имаше купа на България в Димитровград, Златанов, Каров.
At the time, he was also influenced by the names of Zlatarov, Garov.
И много волейболисти.
A lot of volleyball players. It's always been a very popular sport. He's even claiming that it's the most popular sport in Bulgaria.
Okay, fantastic, great to know. I wanted to ask you now, how was it his first time as a player? He started to play in school, in a club. How was his history and evolution about in volleyball in Bulgaria?
Играеше в клуб ли играеше в началото? Как се разви?
Играех в юношеския отбор на Димитровград. Станахме после бронзови медалисти на републиканското.
He started with the boys team in his own hometown in Dimitrov and then they won a bronze medal at the Republican tournament in Bulgaria, which is the local tournament.
И от този турнир
And from this tournament
вече ме забелязаха.
He was noticed.
И влезнах в редиците на ЦСКА като...
And he joined CSKA, which is one of the major clubs in Bulgaria.
In Sofia, right?
Sofia.
Okay.
И тогава ми почна кариерата.
And then his career started.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you, when did he achieve that he could make a career in volleyball, a life in volleyball? Did he know in this time he could make a living in volleyball or not yet?
Кога започва да мислиш, че може това ти е кариерата и че можеш да живееш от волейбола? Знаеш ли го през това време или не?
Значи, докато не почнах да се занимавам професионално в ЦСКА,
като мъже ли?
Като мъже, в юношеските години не можеш да кажеш, че ще станеш много голям волейболист, но кариерата ми в ЦСК за 2 години просто влезнах и в националния отбор.
Well, as he was playing in the boys team, he didn't actually believe that he was going to make a career out of it. He didn't know basically whether he would make a career out of it. But ever since he joined the men's team, everything changed within 2 years because he was called in the national team after that. So then he understood that it was a definitely career path for him.
Fantastic. And please tell me, how was it his experience with the national team? Because I know we can know via internet about his great career in the Olympics and the World Championship and the European Championship. But how was it getting day by day, year by year? Because
как беше ден след ден, година след година, защото знаем от интернет за медалите, които сте спечелили тогава. Малко разкажи за националния отбор в началото.
Моята кариера почна в националния отбор 1970.
His career started in 1979.
Okay.
Година по година,
year by year.
на следващата година 80-та
бях
в основния състав на националния отбор.
I was part of the main team, the first 6 that started every game of the national team.
И за първа година в националния отбор влезнах в основния състав и сребърни медалисти на Олимпиадата.
В Москва. And they won silver medals at the Olympics in Moscow.
Yes. We can today we can watch all these games thanks to technology. Also, we can talk face to face, something that before was impossible. But today we can watch this game, especially, for example, the final in Moscow 1980, and we could watch a very tight game because the Bulgarian team, as I know, has a very special playing system. 2 setters, 4 attackers. There was him, Todorov, and Brembo Slatanov, many great historical players. How was it for him to play this Olympics, to achieve the silver medal, and play against the best in the world?
Тази Олимпиада да спечели този сребърен медал, как се чувства това да играе срещу най-добрите в света?
Тогава беше матч за матч.
It was every game for itself at the time.
От първия матч, като бихме,
when we won,
постоянно, колкото повече напред отиваме като матчове, победа след победа и видяхме, че можем да отидем чак до финала.
We saw that we were able to actually reach the final. Какво беше настроението, Олимпиадата, отношението там, ситуацията, нещо?
Настроението, тръгнахме от тук не с мисълта непременно да бъдем медалисти.
Great expectations, we didn't expect to win any medals.
Okay. Може би заради това лекотата, в която тръгнахме.
That it was easy for us to play because there weren't a lot of expectations on us.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Никой не е очаквал да направим
to actually win the silver medal.
Такъв успех. Но се получи матч след матч.
But it happened, game after game it happened.
Yes, absolutely. And we could see, and this time, correct me if I'm wrong, the team of the Soviet Union with Sabin, Zaitsev, Moliboga, all these legendary players, they're certainly not always lost a game or a set against Bulgaria or any other team, and they in the final they won a set, and maybe somebody would think that they could win the final. How was it for them in the court? How was their feeling about the playing and thinking that maybe they could win this final or not?
Какво беше, как се чувствате тогава да играете срещу Съветския съюз на финала? Мислите ли, че можете да победите?
Да, готов съм за този въпрос.
I'm ready for this question.
На полуфинала бихме Полша 3-0.
At the semi-final we beat Poland 3-0.
И в лицата на руснаците видяхме тогава
And we could see on the Russians' faces
за първи път
for the first time
притеснение
worry,
с нас.
some worry that they're going to play against us.
Yes, it's impressive because we can watch, for example, after the defeat of the set that Bulgaria won against Russia, Soviet Union, for example, the trainer, Platonov, he took out Savin of the court and put inside Panchenko. It's something very, 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 very uncommon.
Имахме възможност да ги бием, но ситуацията тогава...
We had the opportunity to actually beat them, but the situation at the time
не ни позволи ситуацията като домакини.
It wasn't allowed politically, let's say, at the time. It wasn't allowed because they were the hosts, the Soviet Union. And we weren't allowed to actually beat them.
Не искам да коментирам.
I don't want to comment anymore on that.
Съдиите ни,
the judges especially.
Okay.
Които за мен имаше леко подпиране.
I think they helped the Soviet Union's team.
Okay, I understand that it was very different time. I know. I am, but for me, it's very interesting to hear Petko about this, because we are in Chile, are so far away from all this big countries, all this political movements, but. As a volleyball player, I was a volleyball player. Sometimes, as Petko said, when you see some faces in the rivals, we can read something, maybe fear, maybe they don't have the confidence to win. But it's very interesting to hear what Petko has to say to us. I wanted to continue to talk with Petko and with Ivan and ask Petko. I think he will not remember, but in 1982, in the volleyball championship in Argentina, they played against Chile, against my country, and they were in a group, a very, very impossible group with in Argentina. Exactly, Argentina is beside Chile, and they played in an impossible group with the United States, Soviet Union, Bulgaria, and Chile. How was it for them to play this World Championship, to see this group, this impossible group, and what did they expect from this championship?
Трудна група.
A very difficult group indeed.
Защото класират само първите два.
Because only the first two teams went ahead.
Другите два изпадат от 13 до 24 место.
Were to play between 13 to 24th place.
Yes.
The last two teams.
Руснаците тогава бяха доминиращи.
The Russians at the time were dominating again.
И вторите, които се борехме за влизане в първите 12, бяха американски отбор.
And the teams that were actually fighting for the second place in the group were Bulgaria and the United States.
Yeah. И тогава ние победихме 3-2.
We won against the United States 3-2.
И ние отидохме от първо до 12.
And we went ahead to play for the between the first and 12th place.
А те от 13 до 24.
And they went to between 13 and 24. За Чили.
Много труден матч с американците.
It was a very difficult game against the Americans.
В края на краищата
But in the end,
ги победихме.
We were able to beat
мисля
them.
с
I believe
имахме тогава, може би защото играчите ни имаха по-голям опит.
I believe we managed to beat them because we had a bigger experience than them.
Yes.
Тези големите американските имена
great American players
изгряха от следващата година.
Actually started to appear the next year.
Yes, absolutely. I have the opportunity to interview Coach Kirili, and he remembered this game against Bulgaria. He told me that after they lost against the Soviet Union, they were very sad, and he said that against the Bulgarian team, they thought they could win, but it was impossible because, as exactly Petko says, the experience of the Bulgarian team were better than them. But after this, and after Los Angeles, the American team won almost everything with this great team. Did he remember something about Chile or not, about the Chilean team?
За Чили, Чили ще кажа една случка, тази, която я казах одеве.
I would say about one occasion.
Когато имаха прехвърляне на самолета в
They had to change planes
едно градче.
In a small town in Argentina.
Да.
In Argentina. Bulgarian team had to change planes in Argentina, and they were by the Chilean team because they used the same plane as the Bulgarian team.
И трябваше да пътуваме за Катамарка.
We had to travel together to Catamarca. Yes.
И влезнаха чилийския отбор.
And then the Chilean team went in.
И ни се видяха много
we
здрави
thought they were
големи.
really strong and big guys. The Chileans.
И матча протече нормално за нас.
And the game actually went ahead normally for us.
Без изненади.
Without any surprises.
И матча завърши 3-0.
And we managed to beat them 3-0.
Yes.
Yes, sorry.
Tell me, please.
He said they were really impressed by their physical appearance and they were quite worried initially.
Okay. I could.
He's asking, just a second.
82 година на световното, той дали игра?
He's asking whether you played 1982 on the World Championship there. Were you part of the Chilean team?
No. I'm very younger. In the 82, I was 12 years old, but as I'm always, I always have been a fan of volleyball. We lived in Germany in the 70s. My father played volleyball in Germany, so he had many magazines from Germany from volleyball. So I could watch all this game, the read, and also in this time in the 82, there was this video cassette. I don't know, remember the VHS video cassette? Yes. So I could watch all this game to know, and I have the opportunity to talk with some of the Chilean players who played this World Championship, and all told me that when they play against the Americans, they lost very fast against the Russian. They made some points, but all told me that against the Bulgarian team, they could do anything. That against Bulgaria, it was impossible to make points. They told me the Bulgarian players were so strong, so tall, so against this team, they couldn't make anything. It was impossible to do any point.
Yeah, he remembers.
Okay. I said I was playing this time, but I was very little too. I wanted to ask you, please, Petko, about his experience in the national team, because I know he played in different teams with different generations. He told us before the generation from Moscow, and after this, many young players came into the national team. I remember Kiosef, I don't know, many other great players. Todorov, and then in '86 came the younger generation with Ganev, with Dimotonev. I wanted to ask him about what it was for him to be part, or maybe he was the main motor of this team. What did he think about this?
Аз моята възраст позволи да обхвана.
My age allowed me to actually be part
две поколения,
of two generations.
старите като
The older ones, like
Златанов,
Zlatanov,
като Цано Цанов,
like
Емил Вълчев.
Цано Цанов, Вълчев.
И после по новата генерация,
the newer generation,
смяната от 80-та
the
година,
change from the 1980.
Yes.
От 81 година имаше
In 1981
почти
there
променен
was
отбор.
Almost a completely renewed team.
И в 81 година, може да той знае, бронзови медалисти в България, тук, в Варна. Във Варна.
Да, кое е било
81 година. Трети.
He says that you know that probably know in 1981 we won the bronze medals. Какво било световно?
In Bulgaria, yeah.
Европейско.
And the European Championship.
И 83-та година пак трети.
We also won the bronze medals in the European Championship.
Yes, Germany. It's Germany, yes. Okay, and later in 1986 in France they played this impressive World Championship, and they could win the bronze medal against Brazil, a very different kind of volleyball. They were shorter, they were very fast. They had legends like Bernard Rachman, William da Silva, Hernando Soto, many iconic players from the world history, but the Bulgarian team could win them for the bronze medal. And I as I love volleyball, I could watch the display in YouTube, and I could watch that the Bulgarian team was mentally very strong, and also what I like many about the Bulgarian volleyball, that because of the height of all the players, they could Petko, for example, he played in the middle. He attacked from outside. Galabinov the same, Kiosov the same. It was a very flexible team. How did they prepare for this World Championship, and how did they prepare for the play against Brazil?
Започна малко по-отрано.
I'll start from Italia.
Нашите подготовки с целият национален отбор, лагер от 20 дни.
It was a camp with a duration of 20 days.
Okay. In Italy.
В който има и физика, и волейбол.
In which we were both physically and technically prepared, volleyball and physical preparation.
Направихме една много централизирана физическа подготовка.
It was actually quite stressed. The physical preparation was really stressed at the camp.
Която да ни изкара световно първенство без да имаме проблеми.
Which would actually was designed to allow us to play for the entire championship without having any physical problems. Any traumas.
Искам да говоря точно за матча с Бразилия, защото в групата загубихме 3-1.
In the group we actually lost 3-1.
Yes.
И после за третото место
and then for the third place
направихме една дисекция, дето се казва,
we were able to dissect
на техния волейбол,
of their volleyball, their style of playing.
Как можем добре да им се
how exactly we can actually beat them.
Бразилският отбор, както винаги, е много бърз, много техничен.
The Brazilian team, as usual, as always, they are very technical, very fast.
Yes.
Ние можехме да им противопоставим с висок блок и силно нападение.
Our weapons against them were high block and very strong attack.
Exactly.
И го направихме.
And we were able to do it.
И съм много радостен, че
I'm really happy that
затворихме първия гейм.
We were able to close the first game.
На 2 точки, мисля, че 16-14.
With a 2-point difference, 16-14.
И след това втория и третия бяха по-лесни.
And then the second set were and the third set were actually easier.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to ask him about this evolution of volleyball, because he played in a time where volleyball were very different as today's volleyball, and I wanted to ask you his opinion about this. What did he think about volleyball today, about the rules, about the point system, about that the trainer is standing beside the court? I don't know, the libero. What his opinion about today's volleyball?
Либерото е един плюс за съвременния
He believes that the
волейбол.
libero position is a plus for the contemporary volleyball.
Той спомага за
He actually helps for
за волейбола като продължителност на отиграване на точка.
Because his position actually allows to have a longer place for the ball to stay in game for longer periods.
Разликата между волейбола от нашето време и сега
and the contemporary volleyball
не е само мое мнение,
this is not only his opinion.
Всеобщо мнение.
It is a common opinion.
Че тогава, когато ние играехме, волейбола беше по-комбинативен.
At the time we played volleyball, it was more combinatorial.
Yes.
По-комбинативен, сега е много по-силов.
Now it's much stronger, much more emphasis on strength, much more emphasis on strength.
Самия факт, че се правят много чисти точки от начален удар.
Quite a lot of points from serve. With great strength.
Отскок.
And then the serve is jumping.
Влиза топката, все едно нападаш от
the ball actually enters your part of the court as if coming from an attack.
Exactly. And I want to ask him about this. Why did he think that, for example, Bulgaria has so great players, so tall players, so strong players in almost any generation, and why you think you couldn't achieve until now the gold in the Olympics or World Championship? What his opinion about this, and what did he think Bulgaria is missing? And maybe it's the training system, maybe the national turnier. I don't know, but what I want to ask you about this.
На времето, по моето време,
during his time,
имаше по-голяма вероятност да бъдем първи.
That we were actually for us to become first.
Сега много отбори в света с изравнени сили
have equalized recently.
И затова е по-трудно.
And because of that it's harder for Bulgarian team to actually achieve first place. Какво мислиш причината за това? Защо се случи това нещо? В България липсвало едно време.
Тогава просто его мача с...
We weren't able to achieve it because, as I previously said, the game against the Soviet Union, there were a lot of complications around it.
Okay.
След това не сме успели.
Но просто ситуацията е...
The situation was a bit difficult.
Била такава да бронзови медалисти.
Он ни е липсвало като играчи, като треньори, психиката ли, национална черта ли?
Явно, за да бъдем бронзови медалисти, първите два отбора са били малко по-силни от нас.
Obviously, in order to actually achieve bronze medals, the first two teams were a bit stronger than us.
Руснаци и американци тогава
the Russians and the Americans at the time
бяха доминиращи през годините.
Dominating throughout the years.
После вече излезнаха отбори като
Италия, teams like Italy,
Холандия,
like Netherlands, Argentina,
Iran
even.
Brazil, I know.
Brazil,
Italy. Yes.
Of course.
And I wanted to ask him, because for me it's very interesting to know what Bulgarian players think about this, because I can always watch very tall teams every year, taller players, more stronger players. And today's volleyball is so competitive, and as difference from the 80s and the 70s, where you could watch a Japanese school of volleyball, and a Brazilian volleyball, a Russian volleyball type of playing. Today we can watch all the teams play very similar. You see the Italy against Brazil, they play very similar. Maybe I'm asking his opinion. Maybe Bulgarians should have, I don't know, to discover the volleyball school, or maybe they could play different against the other teams to win. I don't know. What is his opinion about this today volleyball?
Пак ще кажа предистория.
I'll tell another story again.
Тогава, по моето поколение, отбора се концентрираше в България, между 2-3 клуба.
Between 2 or 3 clubs at the national level.
Okay.
През годините никой не излизаше навън.
Nobody actually went abroad.
И всички вътре бяха концентрирани за волейбол, и с годините се направи един голям опит.
And they were able to all the players were able to play actually together in the local championship, and in the years they gained this experience playing together.
Сега е по-различно.
Nowadays it's a bit different.
Почти всички волейболисти от националния отбор
Almost all of the national team players
са пръснати
throughout Europe and the world.
Yes.
Playing everywhere.
И оттам се губи нишката, която...
Because of this, they lack this experience by playing together, this knowledge of each other.
Okay.
Няма толкова време за...
There isn't time for mutual preparation.
Да, не само зимна подготовка, повече контролни мачове.
And more like friendly games.
И най-важното е, че в момента България е в застой, защото
most important thing is that currently Bulgaria is in a standstill.
Изведнъж се получи един вакуум, смяна на поколение.
Because there was a sudden vacuum between the generations.
Okay.
Changing generations.
I understand. And please ask him, Ivan, he played in Sofia, and did he play in another teams? Did he play outside Bulgaria? How was his history as a professional player?
Професионален играч, каква е историята на клубно ниво?
На клубно ниво бях 4 години в Италия.
He played 4 years in Italy.
Падуа, Батипалия, JJOO del Colle. Първата година беше в А групата.
The first year we were in A League.
И тогава се борихме 3-4 место.
And then we were aiming at 3rd, 4th place.
Първи и втори бяха големи отбори, като
bigger teams like
Сантал Парма.
Yes.
И Модена.
And how was this experience for him to play in the best leagues in the world?
Как беше за теб да играеш в най-добрата лига в света? Как беше това изживяване?
Аз с този опит, къде го бях натрупал през годините, националния отбор, не ми беше толкова различно трудно, когато бях навънка, защото...
Well, with the experience I had throughout the years with the national team, I didn't find it particularly difficult playing in the best league in the world at the time.
Okay.
The experience.
Okay.
Втората и третата година в А2 в Италия бях
А2 втора лига.
Да, втора лига. Бях най-добър нападател за цялата година.
The second and the third years in Italy where we played in League A2, I was the best attacker for the entire year.
Okay. Okay.
Това време бяхме с Сврътлик.
At this time we played with Svratlik.
Yes.
Заедно бяхме в една група.
In the same group.
Yes, and I want to ask him about. He's telling me that for his long experience playing for the national team, he could play perfectly in the league. But I wanted to ask him about the being part of a league or a country that's crazy about volleyball, and about his professional experience. Because, for example, I interviewed some players from Argentina, and they told me it was very difficult for them to change his life, his mentality, to be a amateur volleyball players, to be a professional volleyball players, that all is volleyball. You have sponsors, you have bosses, you have the crowd, the tifosi. How was it for him? Or maybe not difficult?
Значи, когато от набрания опит през годините влизахме в мачовете без да имаме притеснения. Ако е имало, е било първа, втора точка и после...
Again, because of the experience throughout the years, we started the games really calmly, without any difficulty, without any nervousness. And if there was any nervousness, it dissipated after the first or second points.
Okay. No, my question were more about the after game, the outside the game, to live in Italy, to live as a professional player outside this country, in a country like Italy that is very crazy about volleyball.
Като например в Италия, която е много популярен волейбол. Как начинът на живота, какво си правил, как е било? Трудно ли е било да се адаптираш?
Значи първата година беше трудно за
адаптация. It was difficult to adapt in Italy.
Преди това съм бил много пъти там.
Before that I went many times in Italy.
Но едно е да бъдеш за една седмица на турнир.
But it's different to be playing a tournament in a week.
Друго е да живееш и да играеш.
And a whole other thing to live there and play there.
Okay.
И след първата година вече...
And after first year...
по-лесно.
It was easier. It was easier definitely after the first year.
Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Bulgarian are maybe more similar to the Italians. They're more Latin than the European. In Bulgaria, you're very hot-blooded, and we can watch it in the games. You fight, you shout. You're very different as the Russian or as the German. I don't know. And I wanted to ask him if he had some tournament or some championship he remembers the most. Sometimes, as a player, I could know. You play a tournament, you play very well, you feel very good with you, but you didn't win. Did he have some tournament he the most remembers?
Много помниш, обаче при това не сте успели да спечели. Чувствали се много подготвени, обаче сте се провалили.
Там, където не сме взимали медали,
the tournaments where we didn't win any medals,
явно не е било на ниво, за да покажем най-доброто от нас.
Be able to show the best we can do. Пример за това. Кога се чувствали подготвени, но не сте. Реално не сте спечелили нищо.
Това са примерно 85-та,
I can remember now in 1985, 1987.
Европейските първенства.
European tournaments.
Okay. Understand. And please ask him, when did he start thinking about the retirement? When did he feel that he must step out of the court? And what did he think? What did he thought about his afterlife playing volleyball? Did he have some plans, or they came later?
1988 година вече приключих с...
I finished with that.
националния отбор.
Mm-hmm.
Просто имаше млади,
because there were a lot of younger players.
Yeah.
Напираха и
Who were
съответно
fighting for a spot.
ние по-възрастните волейболисти един по един се отиваха.
And we, the older players, one by one started to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Това беше много труден момент,
This was a very difficult moment for me.
защото толкова години имаше един начин на живот, сега
Because
изведнъж
for so
става
many
друго.
years I knew one way of life and now I think of another.
Exactly.
Но след 88 националния отбор,
But after the 1988 national team,
отидох 4 години в Италия,
I was 4 years in Italy,
4 години в Кипър
4 years in Cyprus,
и после в Гърция.
and then in Greece.
Okay.
Кога си мислил вече за пенсиониране за такива работи?
Като волейболист.
Като волейболист, кога мислиш да напуснеш игрището?
Това беше последната година в Кипър, когато бях на 35-6
I was
години.
thinking about leaving the sport altogether. The last year in Cyprus, когато си бил на колко? 34.
35-6.
When I was 35-36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Не съм спрял да играя волейбол.
But I didn't stop actually playing volleyball altogether.
Okay.
В България се поддържах в един-два отбора на по-ниско.
I stayed in Bulgaria and I played for a couple of teams at a lower league, lower level.
Okay.
For that. Беше ли трудна тази транзиция? Какво си правил живота след това? Не си планувал.
И после вече мислиш
After the volleyball, you start thinking about
какво трябва да започнеш.
What you should do, what should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Имах много идеи.
I had a lot of ideas.
Okay.
Но нито едно не се
But actually I wasn't very successful in achieving these ideas.
Почнах с бизнес.
I started in the business with
дрехи,
with the sporting clothes.
Okay.
Но е много трудно да се адаптираш от волейбол.
It's really difficult to adapt to civilian life, let's say, after volleyball.
I know, but did he was always related to volleyball, or his business and projects was outside the sport ambient?
Извън спорт. Останали си свързан с волейбол.
Бизнес е извън волейбол, само че
the business was not related to volleyball.
Okay.
Никога не съм бил далеко от волейбол.
But I never stayed too far away from volleyball. I visited games.
На мачове, на тренировки.
Practices. Кажи сега за сина ти.
Не знам дали е в тази тема.
His younger son is actually growing now and he's a very promising volleyball player. So he's still connected to the volleyball world with him. He's going to practices, to games.
Fantastic.
Тренира в София.
He trains in Sofia as a diagonal player.
Добре върви за сега.
He's growing well for now.
2 метра е висок.
He's 2 meters like me.
Okay. That's so tall in Bulgaria. How do you do it?
Да му пожелаем.
Как да сте толкова високи в България? Как го правите?
Ген.
Genes.
Yeah. Yes, I know. But we can watch all the teams that were so tall. We didn't understand this. I remember, and I played in the junior volleyball championship in '85 in Italy, and we saw the Bulgarian team. We didn't play against them, and this team were Lubomir Ganev. Okay, and I was walking outside the gym, and there was Lubomir Ganev. He talked again to me, and he started to talk in Bulgarian. I don't know Bulgarian. I said I speak German. I speak English. I saw so big man. He talked to me, and he wanted to change this pins. I don't know how do you call it. You use the pins here to interchange. So for me, it was very impressive to watch this so big guy talk to me in Bulgarian. And I wanted to ask Petko, finally in this conversation, as I told you outside the camera and starting this conversation, that for me it's very important to talk with people like him. That's so important in volleyball history, because today's players, many young players, did not have many ideas from volleyball history, especially in South America or in Europe. So for me, it's very important to make this humble contribution to volleyball history. And I remember when I talked with a Brazilian Olympic player, Giovanni Gavio and Marcelo Negrão. They're now trainers, and they told me that sometimes they put some videos from old players, and the younger players couldn't believe that the trainers played so well, okay, when they were young. So for me, it's very important to make these interviews to show the world that volleyball history is a long time ago. I could interview a Chilean volleyball player. He plays in the 50s, in the 60s. So volleyball is history for me is very important. So to talk with Petko, to know his personal histories, his experience is very, very important for me, and I'm sure for all the thousands of followers from my pages around the world. So I wanted to thank you again, Petko, for your time, for your motivation to talk with me. Also, Ivan, for translation. And I wanted to send you many good wishes from Chile to you, for your projects, and for your son. Hopefully he can win some gold for Bulgarian. So for me, it was a very interesting conversation, and I want to invite you to keep watching my fan pages. If you can send me more photos, they're fantastic. This was for me an interesting conversation.
Аз благодаря и
I thank you as well.
гледам постоянно
And
предаването
I'm
му
watching your program all the time.
и съм много приятно, много ми е приятно да контактуваме така, защото излизат много неща от миналото.
Because there are a lot of things from the past coming up.
И това ме радва.
And that makes me happy.
Fantastic. Many thanks.
Thank you, Alfredo. It was a pleasure, real pleasure. It was very interesting.
Thank you.